First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for the invite.
Hey, this actually was your idea, and I loved your excitement of saying, hey, let's go ahead, we got this equipment, let's go ahead and get something started. This is kind of our first initial recording, podcast, kickoff. Let's just jump right into it. So we'll start with introductions. I am thankful and honored to be here. My name is LaVar Harris. I am the Association Executive here at UCAR. And sir?
I am Steve Diskin, owner and broker for BSDiskin Real Estate out in Middle Tennessee.
Awesome. So tell us about your time in real estate. Like, how long you been in the business? And
1989, started off in Las Vegas, of all markets. That was a market that was totally dead at one moment, and then the next moment it was gangbusters. The town went from 300,000 to what we have today, probably 1.5 to 2 million people. And it's in a bowl. Mountains all around us, 3/4 of the way that is. So, very aggressive market. You'll learn your craft well, or you'll be pushed out, one of the two. Association, massive in size, of course. But a lot that went on, and I'm very blessed to have learned my craft out there, made a lot of mistakes. As a matter of fact, the young ones love to ask me, so give me some tips of the trade, or what's different between you and I always say, it's only one thing. I got more stripes on my back from doing things the wrong way, missing opportunities, and that's the difference. And I get up every morning and I go work. I love what I do.
yeah, and you can't be afraid to make those mistakes, right? Like, you're out there actually doing, so it's going to happen, but you learn from it, right?
It's the difference. If you're not making mistakes, I mean, gosh, Michael Jordan, how many shots did he miss? But then again, I'd want him to take the final shot at any moment in life.
Absolutely. So you mentioned something about being out there in Vegas kind of before what it is now, and living through that expansion, right? So I'm sure it is on a much different level than here, but do you see any similarities? I keep hearing about how Cookeville and the area around here has grown over the last 10 years.
So when I got here, Cookeville was a silent market, if you will, but I could see that storm coming, and I had experienced it in Las Vegas. A lot of agents, I attempted to let them know what is coming, and they just never thought magnitude, the size of it, would be here, and it has come here. And now it's opportunity. It's managing yourself, a lot of success in the middle of it. How are you showing up? It is a chance to take the magnifier that's on you with a lot of opportunity in sales and dissect, how am I doing with what I have? If it's a stagnant market, then you don't really have a chance to work on a lot of those tools. But you got to get a coach. You know what? I like that. As a matter of fact, when LaVar came here, he became our coach. And it's the same thing. You got to have somebody who can see the bigger picture around you. You show up for work, listen to the coach, try it, and things are so different at that moment. And that's the similarities that I see here. When I started in real estate, I joined a system, a coach, if you will, called the Mike Ferry system. Way more money expense-wise than I had. I mean, my first year I was eating Taco Bell once a day. That's about all I could afford. But getting a coach and having them really hone in on how I show up every day makes a difference. They look at the bigger picture, I implement. It's kind of like, coach, get me in the game, if you will. So when you were being interviewed and we then came after you, that's the man for what we feel we need here. It's that coaching style that you provide, and it's such a joy to play. You're going to make mistakes, LaVar. And if you're not pushing the envelope. You do things ethically at all costs, of course. But it's that same coach mentality that we have with you, and I love it as we go down the pike.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad that kind of came up, and it came up like organically because, yeah, I think a lot of the sports analogies really work in this industry. I think I see parallels to sports and life in general, so.
Yeah, and I see it in the newsletters that you put out there. Motivational, opportunity is around you. Are you thinking about that? And what are you doing with it? And certainly the coach is going to put one of the better players in. If indeed I've worked on my skill and the coach can see that, you're going to go to a convention and you're going to bring back some ideas to me, the coachable ones, of course, who are going to implement. We just have so many golden nuggets that we don't really turn over as time goes on, and that makes the difference. But no matter what happens, if I move to another state, I'll be able to pick up real estate right where I left off and do it in another state. It's the nuances that you learn wherever you go. And the same thing happens here. A buyer wants to go see a piece of property that may be east of Knoxville. They have some nuances out there. But it's adapting and changing, and it's the same thing. Here at UCAR, there's some phenomenal agents that are all around us. And it's not necessarily about the years of experience. It may be a newcomer that just has a brain and a mind that says, I want to keep expanding and working and honing what my business is. It is a business. And that's where we need people around us, LaVar, whether it's the board, the executive committee, the director, that's your side of the fence. Because again, you will have to look at all of the components. I'm just looking at one. I'm an agent, and what's the best that I can do with that? But there's a whole, even in sports, there's whole departments all around these guys that go onto the field. And when everybody is clicking in your aspect, if you're clicking and I'm clicking, it's amazing the opportunities that come down the pike.
Absolutely. And let's go back to something that you said. You started out in Las Vegas and you brought into a system. So I think you said you had a coach at that point in time, right?
That's correct, the Mike Ferry system at that time. It comes with a trust. So I had to begin to trust what he was telling me was going to come at the end or in the middle is actually going to come to fruition, because in the beginning, I'm not so sure about this, and there's a lot of money. Back then in '89, it was $1,000 a month. I couldn't even fathom that number. But as time went on, I kind of forgot about time, and I'm just doing what I'm asked to do. And then we got an accountability partner, which would be great out here. Just somebody another agent I would check in with. What are you doing today? He'd ask me the same thing. We'd work on some scripts. How do you handle this objection, Steve? I keep getting this about crawl spaces. All those are negative things. Buyers coming in from other states didn't understand what they are. So we would work on an objection if that were the case. So you got to trust somebody. You got to have an accountability partner, or it would be nice to have that if you could. And then you got to get out there and implement. That's the beauty of it. Implement. Well, a lot of us are frightened that we're going to fail when we do that implementation thing. Look, anybody could have gotten frightened. It would have been you. I'm going down there and I'm running something in a state I don't even know nothing about. And yet you said, I'm showing up. Let's go. And day one, it was like motivation man. Like, hey, I want to play a big game. So are any of you up for it? If so, let's go. And look at the result. Oh my gosh. The things that we've accomplished in 1 year are amazing, and you've not even been here in 1 year yet. I can't wait to get up and go play in this market with the people who want to play, because it's a benefit to the end user. That's the customers and clients. They're the benefits of this. Which is another thing, knowing how to use your tools, man. I don't have to know how to do an appraisal. I just need to know that I can call an appraiser and have him explain to me how this is up in lofts that have pitched roofs like this. Mm-hmm. So I would measure the exact footage and no, you're way too big. What are you talking about? You got to come in wherever the 5 foot mark is where the ceiling is. So you'll come in from the edge to wherever it's 5 feet. That begins the measurement. Well, that's a lot smaller than what I'm looking at. Well, people don't duck their heads when they go into the corner. So just knowing, that's what Apple taught me. Apple comes out with an iPad. I was there for the launch. Okay. Apple's methodology is simple. We're not training you. Your client, your customers will train you. You got to tell me how this thing works before I get on the floor and sell it. We've not even seen this before. You'll learn when the customers learn, and the customers will help you learn. And then we're going to show you nothing more than how to go find the information. They come and ask a question, you'll know right where to go to find that. And you're going to do it right in front of them so you can train them how to do it so they stop coming and asking you questions. And we would learn about products as they learned about them. What's an iPad for? It's nothing but a glorified iPod. We all thought that because that's what the customer said. And all of a sudden one day it changed. This is what it's used for. Now look at it today. And we learn that as they learn that. So as my clients are trying to school me on something, I'm listening. They're helping teach me as I go. I don't mind doing a segment on the agents of little tips and tricks and just show up, dude. Learn the rules of the game, show up. And it makes it fun to play the game. Somebody like me, by the time you get this many years in, you want out fast. You can't stand people. And I still love them. But I listen, they teach me. You know, I'm not adverse to them saying, you know, let me show you something. I never knew that before. It's amazing what I learned today from them.
I love that whole concept of like teach you how to find the answer, how to answer the
That's
question.
Apple.
But then learn from the customer is going
Interact.
to teach you. Yeah. The customer is going to teach you the product. You just need to learn how to answer the questions.
Absolutely. That's how Apple taught.
I
made sales like crazy because of my interaction. Because clients love interacting with that. We're learning together. And I'm thanking them. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know there was an app that would do that. Are you kidding me? By the way, what's an app? And they would tell me what an app is. And we'd go through that. Oh my gosh, I loved that experience when I was with Apple on the sales floor. And it made life different. Now when I interact with my clients today, I do the exact same thing with them. I'm not going to waste this moment. Let's learn this together. They ask me a question. I don't even know what you're talking. There's an important one right there. Speak the language of the client. You're speaking Greek to them. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. I'm going to give you all these highfalutin terminologies. They don't know what the heck we're talking about. That's not fair. Like when they go on, I'm going to buy a vehicle, and then the sales guy is telling me all about the torque, power, and the ratio. And it's like, dude, I don't even want to know that. I don't care. How much horsepower do you have red stitching in there? And how does a seat warm up? Right. Now you're talking my language. Yep. We just don't talk the same language anymore. There is no personalness in our industry anymore. I love when buyers and sellers come together, but agents won't ever let that happen. In my world, I'll let them come together. I make sure buyers ask my client, I'm the listing agent, ask my seller a question. I'll even say, don't answer that. That's not fair. They have time to think about that. So then we move on, but I'll be there. They love that personal interaction, and I have sold more homes by that. And I just stand back and let it happen. But agents think they have to open their mouths and show how they earn their paycheck, and they just get in the way.
Yeah.
It's all about talking the same language. You know, I came down here, I'm talking Vegas language, and they're like, I don't even know what you're saying. My wife and I laugh about that because she says things that I don't even know what she's talking about. Oh yeah, we need to put a poultice on that. Honey, what is a poultice? It sounds like poltergeist or something. No, a poultice. You got to put that. You just burnt your arm, didn't you? We need a poultice on that. And she tells me what this mixture of mud and clay and leaves, and we're going to put that stuff on there. Honey, I'm going to the doctor. No, this is much better. Your skin will heal much better. We just don't talk the same language anymore. So you got to find out what language people are talking. And then everybody has fun.
Absolutely. And you said a couple of things that I definitely agree with and can attest is one, just speaking the language, like you say. Communication is more than just talking, right? Communication only occurs when people understand each other.
Yes.
So you couldn't sit and talk for an hour and not have communicated, or at least not well, right? So speaking the language is huge.
I can have a difference of opinion, but if we can't effectively communicate with each other, give respect, if I can't draw out from you some great ideas, or how am I showing up? I'm your agent. How am I showing up? Well, Steve, you don't call me often enough, or you don't keep me filled in with what's going on. So that communication is key as we go to have a smooth transition of this purchasing. I mean, this is massive in size. A home, there's so many moving parts. So we have to work with all elements, appraisers, home inspectors, lenders, if you will, to get the right products for every situation. I just thought you go get a loan, but no, there are different tools, different lending products that a lender can represent. So my client's working with those lenders. I just want to make sure that lender is availing my client to all the products that they have. There may be some better than others for whatever the situation is. I'd like to make a call out to the membership base.
Okay.
Hey, if you guys have any ideas, bring them forward. We had one come just the other day. It's a class on ethics. And I thought, ethics? I mean, that would take us 20 minutes and then we're done. And the more I thought about it, yeah, there's times when agents don't show some true ethical ways of handling a situation. Feedback is one. We rarely get feedback anymore. And of course, my client, the seller, is asking, hey, can you tell me, how did my house even show? Should I change anything? Feedback, good or bad, is what I tell the agents. Just give me anything. But ethical ways of helping present a house, a showing, helping your clients. It's the mannerisms. It's the things that we should be doing as agents, and I think we'll make the process much more smoother if we get into that realm. So if our membership base has any ideas of classes to teach or something they think bring forward, I encourage them, bring any and all ideas forward, and let's see where the chips fall.
Speaking of that, I do know that going into 2026 next year, that the president is big on education, right?
I heard that, Victor. Yes.
Yeah. So, of course, we have our core classes that we offer, and we will continue to offer. But if there are courses and classes that our members desire us to teach, and or that they are having to go other places to get, I echo your sentiment. I encourage you to let somebody know. Make the suggestion. You can come to the office, you can call anybody at the office, you can reach out to me, but anybody on the board as well. I think everybody on the board has been super supportive and want to see value being shown to our members. So if there's something that, it just might have, not reached our radar, and so like you bring it up and we can say, oh, that's a great idea, and go from there.
I find education almost puts money in your pocket. Education is one of the things I like to talk with people who are much more successful than I, in however you define the term success, but having them educate me on the basics, what do they do, they're more than willing to share their information. Sometimes it gets lonely at the top and they want to share their information to you, and I've done it so many times. Education is such a key component. If you go to an event, let's say, and a class is being taught, there's probably one or two great golden nuggets that you could take, try it, see how it works. Out of all the classes that we do go to, certainly we should be getting some benefit. And I just find that when I'm focused on education, I'm going to take 2 or 3 great golden nuggets, I'm going to implement 1 or 2 and see where the chips fall. It's a benefit of a dollar amount. It's a benefit of how it makes my life easier, or it makes my communication more effective. And that's why I love education. I think Victor's onto something on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that you just said, like you try to pull out 2 or 3 nuggets from courses, classes, events, conferences you go to, but then you also implement them. So that's the key, right? I think a lot of people, they go to the class because they have to, they need this amount of credit, they have this many hours, or they go to the conference because they like it. And I think most people see the value of what they're hearing, but are they going to go back and actually do it? And I think that's the key, right?
That is the key right there. I made events, I've made classes and things of that, and I've spent years doing nothing with it except having a fun time while I'm there. But coming home from a conference, implementing a couple, I wasn't happy about that in the beginning. I saw the benefit, and then when I sat in conferences, I'm looking for those golden nuggets, and they stand out. Like, you can't wait to get them on paper. You got ideas, but you got to focus and listen. I'm telling you, it has made a difference over the long haul in my career in real estate, and I just love doing the real estate. As long as I stay teachable, and I got to remind myself, I ain't no top dog. I have to remain in a coachable state, teachable, and certainly we are always to impart the information that we have from our experience. That's actually in the Code of Ethics on the first page.
As great as it is to continue to build your skill set and knowledge base and earning potential, is also really, really important. And I think just really cool to continue to share that with other people, right? The giving back, it goes both ways, right?
Absolutely. It's so rewarding when I see that I can play a part in helping somebody be a better agent, if you will, and certainly then the public will benefit from that too.
Let's see, what's some things that's going on in the industry? Let's talk about some hot topics.
Interest rates have come down.
Okay.
And they haven't even started to reduce the interest rates from the feds yet. But the nice part is we're going to experience the next 3 years of interest rates now. We're just teetering right on that edge of 6% right now. And some of the products are in the very high fives right now. So we're going to start to see those come down. A lot of the bankers are saying in 26, we should experience 3 interest rate drops, albeit they could be as low as 1/4 of a point to 1/2 a point, 3 times that they're expecting. So that starts to mean that, gosh, in the low fives, high fours, and that gives better buying power for the public. So with that being said, that's always a positive, people with better buying power, and especially first-time homeowners. This gives them a leg up now on moving into products that are healthy in price. Right now, we'll probably start to see more inventory come on the market. That helps pricing come down so more people can afford some of these more beautiful homes. But certainly first-time homeowners, we've got to get them into affordable housing as we go.
That's awesome, and I love that you mentioned that, because that is a segment that I like, but I also like, helping people with their first time home purchase, right? So like, that's a really cool, it's a really cool segment of the population. It can be, both rewarding and challenging.
Yeah, yes.
Because, you're guiding people through their first time through the process, right?
Yeah.
But it's also very rewarding to see them actually make that purchase, right?
Yes, sir.
We talked earlier about having more social and networking events, and I want to do that as well, but I also want to make this, our headquarters, more accessible and attractive for people to come here. Like, you came in, you said, hey, I want to do a podcast, let's pick a day and just get together and do it. I want to see more people just kind of using the space as a meeting place, as a gathering place. It doesn't have to be for a class or a training or a meeting. Like, if there's 5 agents in here and they just sat down, naturally they're going to end up talking about something, and they can probably help each other. And then maybe, an idea that can help others as well. But like, I just think there's so much power in, like you say, just networking, communicating, getting together. And it could be however frequent or infrequent it happens. But yeah, you come together, you have 5 people sitting here. We had the membership Monday last night, and it was a handful of us there. But conversations I heard, and the thoughts and the ideas that generated from that. And so we had one of our business partners talk about when he just first moved to town a year and a half ago, and his whole process of home buying, right? And he brought new build, and the reason why he went new build versus house already, and kind of what that looked like. And then we had somebody else that kind of works in new construction, so she could see, oh yeah, well, this is the reason why we do that. And then, but he was like, well, this is how it affected me as the purchaser. So it was kind of like seeing both sides of it right there in real time. I thought it was really cool. Like, he works in mortgages, so like him doing it in his own versus the new constructions deals that they have. And then I just thought it was really cool, and I even had ideas out of that. So like, I'm energized anytime we have people that kind of come together and share their experiences and just have discussions.
So that reminds me, you said something. This is the meeting place. This is the central hub, UCAR. We represent the membership base, and by a better representation that we can do, and education and whatever else the membership base feels they need, who wins? The public. And that's what we're to do. And I can think of one great example, sitting in Detroit, sitting up in Michigan. They all came together. Oh, they played some instruments, or they had the ability to sing, and they all come together, and that's called Motown. Yes. And what did these people do? One hit after another, they cranked it into a style that we call Motown. And that's unmistakable when you say that. And it was one person after the other just, hey, let's go meet down at the central hub.
And that was the benefit. Why can't we do that same benefit here?
I love
They're
it.
doing it. I didn't even know about a podcast room until I see that LaVar is tinkering in that room. Hey, LaVar, what the heck you doing in there, man? And this is it. So maybe UCAR is open for this. We've already paid the rent for next month. Come use us.
Yep.
We got rooms set up that if you want to sit here and do business, nobody's bothering you. We got a room behind the closed door. Whatever you need, come on down, get some inspiration. Who knows what's next? But if we can put fun back in this process that's so arduous, we win. Everybody wins.
Yes, true to form. You just gave me another great idea. You didn't even give me a great idea. You just had a great idea. You just spoke it into existence. So like, we should have music pumping through this building, right? We need a DJ stand. We need to be able to come here on a Friday, just kind of
Absolutely.
and it's like vibrant. It's a vibrant place. It's, you know, you meet somebody here, you bring your lunch, talk, discuss, figure out what's going on, you know?
Why not?
I love it.
Why not? We're in the middle of inspiration. Come on down, bring a sack lunch and just sit and let's just have conversation. You'd be amazed what ideas come out of that. You know what? I'm going to be a better agent. I'm dedicating myself to doing that right now. And it starts with the very next person I deal with out there, because I can't wait to get down in the middle of inspiration. You know, the equipment, the people, their knowledge or their lack of knowledge, whatever it is, let's just go create together and see what we can do.
Love it. I love it.
Beautiful.
And the music playing is going to be Motown.
I love you, man. I can't thank you enough we're blessed enough to have you down here.
Thank you.
swear.
I definitely feel like I'm blessed. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I appreciate all of you all for the support, for bringing me down here, the support you're giving me, the passion that you bring to your positions, to this organization. And like you said, ultimately, we really want to be able to serve our members and then help our members serve the community. So that's what
Yes,
it's all
sir.
about.
We got to get in motion and we got to get some things accomplished. So we need to go interact in a different way that is meaningful to people, because that's what we're supposed to do after all this. Thank you. Great segment.
Thank you. I think so. Good job.
Excellent.